Yes, the recording is started. Now I will share my screen and let us. So is my screen visible?
Yes, screen is visible.
Okay. So वारफेज चार्ज. सो पिछले जो हमारा क्लास में देखा कि ये वारफेज चार्ज क्या है और ये कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है ना. वी सॉ द वी डिडंट सी द कैलकुलेशन. वी सॉ how to segregate the stations. Okay, I'll tell you how to segregate the stations into different these things. So we have seen group 1, group 2 and group 3. Anybody is having a doubt on how we are seeing this group 1, group 2 and group 3? Last time we have conducted the same class. I just wanted to ask if at all you are familiar with it or you have forgotten it.
Please revise it.
You want revising? Okay. JG, good evening. Welcome. Hope everything is fine down there. JG. Okay. Anyway, now this classification of railway premises is based on the number of rakes which arrive every month, averaging from 1st January to 30th April. So the whole of January, February, March, April, these 4 months together, they are averaged. Number of rakes are taken into consideration for these 4 months. If the number of rakes is more than 12, it becomes a group 1 station. Between 7 and 12 rakes per month, it is group 2 station, and less than 7 rakes a month, we call it group 3 stations. Now group 3 stations is having very less rakes, so it can we are giving them more time to take the material out. So last time we saw for group 3 station 72 working hours from the expiry of free time for unloading. Please remember, this is in two parts. You have to be very careful. Not 72 hours. It is 72 hours from the expiry of free time for unloading. Okay, you be very careful, clear about this. Okay, so then we have group 2 stations, 7 to 12 rakes per month, averaging from 1st January to 30th April. There we are giving only 15 working hours. However, in group 1 stations where there are more than 12 rakes a month, we are giving only 12 working hours from the expiry of free time for this, for the material to be taken away. Please don't talk in between. I think somebody is unmuting and talking. Mr. Krishnamurthy, please don't talk in between. It is disturbing the class. Now, today we will see what is the wharfage charges. Okay, what is the rate of wharfage? It is visible on the screen. Wharfage charge will be levied on per wagon per hour basis. Please remember, wharfage, demurrage is levied for the full rake, whereas wharfage is levied on a wagon rake. Okay, please read this again and understand it again. Demurrage is levied on the full rake even if only one wagon is left over. For the whole entire rake we are collecting the demurrage. But wharfage is not like that. Wharfage is on a per hour basis, per wagon basis. Can somebody tell why? Can anybody tell why? Am I audible?
Yes.
Then can anybody tell why? Just try to give an explanation. Try to reason it out. Okay, let me tell you the simple funda. So it is very simple. For a demurrage, when the wagon is not released, the whole rake is standing simply without moving. Okay, we cannot take out only those wagons which are empty and send it somewhere else. So the whole rake is occupied because only one wagon is also not, although only one wagon is not emptied, that whole rake is standing. Whereas wharfage, what is wharfage? Wharfage is a ground rent. Okay, wharfage is the rent that we are collecting. Yes or no? So when we are collecting the rent, we should collect rent only for the material which is on the ground. Is it not? Because it is a railway premises, we are collecting material only for the material which is in the ground. So how many wagons worth or how many wagons content is there on the ground? Only for that we have to collect the wharfage. It is not fair if there are 58 BCNHL of cement, all the 58 are unloaded or taken away by the party, only one wagon material is left in the railway premises. Is it fair enough for us to charge wharfage for all the 58 wagons, although 57 wagons material is already taken away to his godown? Anybody? Is it fair? Can we do it?
No.
No, because it is not fair. Okay, the difference between wharfage and demurrage is huge. Demurrage is for the detention of the rake, and even if only one wagon content is there in that wagon, then the whole rake we are detaining. Whereas as far as wharfage is concerned, it is a ground rent. It is a rental that we are collecting. So when we are collecting rent, what we have to do is only for the volume or area, in fact, area occupied, not even the volume, area, length into breadth. That is what we have to calculate. So per wagon basis we are collecting. Now wharfage charge. Wharfage charge is uniform for all types of wagons, whether 4-wheeler or 8-wheeler or any other type. Whatever be the type of wagon, if the material is in the railway premises, we are collecting charges. In group 1 station, 150 rupees per wagon per hour or part thereof. In group 2 stations, we are collecting 120 rupees per wagon per hour or part thereof. And in group 3 stations, we are collecting 75 rupees. You can see that somebody is texting something. What is it? Anybody? Okay. Okay, so we can see that as far as the groups of station is concerned, in group 1 station we are giving that it is having more rakes. If it is having more rakes, that means the demand for the space is more. That means we have to charge more rent. It is just like what I told you. It is like hiring a house in a town. If the town is having less population and if the demand is less, then the rent is less. If the town is more populated or if the demand is more, then the rent will be sky high. Just say, take the question of Singapore or Hong Kong. They are very small cities. Their whole square, the whole area is less than Bangalore or even Chennai. But why is the rent so much there? Because they are tourist spots, because they have very good business enterprises. So Hong Kong and Singapore, the rent is very high. That is because of demand and supply. If the demand is more, obviously the rental will be more. Like that here also in group 1 station, because the demand is more rakes are coming, we require more space. So we are telling, अच्छा भाई आप 150 रुपए दे दो एक वैगन एक घंटा के लिए या इसका भाग को, और 120 rupees and 75 rupees similarly for the group 2 and group 3. Now 50% of the time will continue to be reckoned between 22 hours and 6 hours. This we have seen in demurrage. In the demurrage, when we were studying demurrage, we saw that 50% of the charge only will be collected for the night time between 22 hours and 6 hours. Okay. Now, any doubt is there regarding this particular wharfage charging? Anybody?
No.
Shall we go ahead?
Sir, for this also that non-dice, the date national holidays apply, sir.
No, I'll tell you. Wharfage already we have discussed that last week. See here.
It doesn't apply, no?
Yeah, it does not apply. Okay, we have already we have already discussed that. Let me come back to you on that. See here, last week we discussed national holidays, namely 26th January, 15th and October will not be reckoned when calculating free time for removal from the premises and for charge, except in case of livestock, perishable goods and goods loaded unloaded at such stations and goods sheds which are notified stations. There are many stations which we call as notified station. In those stations, even on these 3 days, wharfage is reckoned. In the non-notified stations, these 3 days, wharfage is not reckoned. However, again, in the case of livestock, perishables and goods, in the case of livestock and perishables, there also it is reckoned. Okay, so this is the important statement which you have to keep in mind. I have highlighted it. National holidays, namely 26th January, 15th August, 2nd October, will not be reckoned while calculating free time for removal of goods. That means for wharfage it is not reckoned, except for notified stations or when livestock is unloaded at any station, notified or non-notified. Similarly, perishable goods at notified or non-notified. For these 3 cases, livestock, perishable goods and notified stations, these 3 days also wharfage will be charged. Okay, Sandhya?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now going further. Now wharfage in case of livestock. Why is livestock treated differently? For the simple reason that the whole concept of livestock is different. Livestock means they are alive. So we cannot, if it is a hard parcel, we will not know whether the doors are shut or whether we have got 10 days holidays, 10 days band. That is all for humans. But as far as the animals are concerned, Sunday or Monday, Roj, Khao Ande. Like that, whether it is Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or holiday, they don't recognize anything. As far as they are concerned, they need food, they need water, they need the safety of their owners. So for that we tell that even in the case of livestock, there are certain special rules. So free time for removal of livestock booked under the goods tariff from railway premises is as under. Livestock waiting to be loaded. When the livestock has been brought to the station and to be loaded into the wagon, that time we are giving 3 hours from the expiry of free time for loading of the wagons. Then we will start charging wharfage. For livestock unloaded, we are again giving 3 hours free time for unloading of the wagon or rake. Okay. So please read this statement again if you want. I will highlight it. Livestock waiting to be loaded. That is the first part. 3 hours from the expiry of free time for loading of the wagons. After the free time of loading of the wagon into of livestock into a wagon, we are giving them 3 hours wharfage free time. After that, wharfage will be charged. Similarly, livestock unloaded from the wagons and waiting to be removed from the goods shed, for them also 3 hours after the expiry of free time for unloading. Okay, so please remember this. There is a vast difference between this and this. The timing and everything is the same, but here it is waiting to be loaded and here it is waiting to be unloaded. After unloading, what do you do with animal, and before loading, what you do with animals. Okay. Now what is the rate of wharfage charge? We have given the timing here. Now we are coming to the rate.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you explain this with an example, sir?
Yeah, I will tell you. We will go into examples. So I want to do some examples today about wharfage, demurrage, everything. I will take some classes.
Sir,
I have some worked out problems with me which we will discuss. Okay, in another 10 minutes we will discuss that. Okay, so.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. So then the next this thing, rates of wharfage. Rate of wharfage charge in the case of livestock booked under goods tariff will be 5 rupees per head per hour or part of an hour. So what is the wharfage? It is 5 rupees per head per hour or part of an hour. That means per head means if there are 10 pigs, 10 into 5. If there are 100 hens, then 100 into 5 rupees. Only one elephant or one horse or one cow, then only one head. The head means one animal. Okay, you can keep it like that. However, rail customers should remove their livestock from the railway premises within 12 hours of unloading at the destination. So after unloading, 3 hours free time is there and we will start charging wharfage after that. After 9 hours of completion of wharfage, that means after total 12 hours completion, they have to, within the 12 hours they have to remove it. If they do not remove, in case rail customer fails to do so, railway administration may dispose them of in the manner provided in clause A subsection 2 of the Railway Act 83. Under subsection clause A subsection 2 83 of the Railway Act, whenever a material which is found to be dangerous or in any way harming the railways, then the railway has got the right to dispose of them through a public auction. So when we talk about animals, we all know that animals are not dangerous items. However, we cannot keep caring for the animals. For an animal needs a lot of care and an animal needs a lot of food and other things. Meena is asking if the animal dies within the specified free time. There is a separate claims for each and everything that is entrusted to the railway. We have got a separate claims manual for that. For livestock, hello. When
ಮನಿ ಯಾವ ಬೈಕ್ನ್ಯಾಗ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಫೈಟ್
Shankaranand, please mute. Okay, so Meena, what I am trying to say is that for livestock, if the percentage charge of excess value which is compulsorily paid, then there is a specific amount of money which can be given. Okay, after this lecture, after 5 minutes I will tell you what it is. Now, if the rail customer fails to do so, the railway administration may dispose of them under subsection A. What is disposal? Here it means a public auction. Now we saw demurrage, that demurrage can be progressively increased up to how many times? Anybody? Up to how many times? Demurrage can be progressively increased up to how many times? Anybody?
6 times, sir. 6 times.
Exactly. Hello? Please
Sir.
join the class. Yeah. Okay, please. Waiting for you. Okay. So, here the 6 times is the demurrage. Very good. Okay. So, demurrage will be progressively increased up to 6 times. Okay. Now, for wharfage, what is the rule? Let us see. Levy of higher wharfage charge. In case of excessive congestion or regularity of excessive congestion at any terminal, CCM or DRM can notify higher wharfage charge up to same 6 times the prevailing rates applicable for the first 24 hours. Wharfage charge should be implemented only after giving due notice of 48 hours and wide publicity, and should be applicable only for the notified period. Okay, please read this again. Levy of higher wharfage charge. In the case of excessive congestion or regularity of excessive congestion at any terminal, PCCM or DRM can notify higher wharfage charges up to 6 times the prevailing rates applicable for the first 24 hours. Okay, wharfage charge should be implemented only after giving due notice of 48 hours and wide publicity, and should be applicable only for the notified period. That means there will be a beginning date and there will be an end date. Only on those days it will be charged. It cannot be done indefinitely. Okay, why it should not be done indefinitely?
Because throughout the year it will be throughout the year it will be not busy, sir. There will be some
Yes.
leaks
Yes. Once the material goes out of your railway premises, it becomes vacant again. And if you do it permanently, then you are changing the whole railway rules and charging more permanently. Okay, so which is not practical. So only during the peak times you are charging more. Okay, where you feel that you need to justify it. Any doubt is there in this? Anybody? Somebody is asking a doubt. Meena, if the consignment is damaged and customer is unwilling to remove from the railway premises, again, if he is unwilling to remove from the railway premises, then there is a separate claims procedure for that. The claims procedure is that an open delivery will be given to the customer, asking him to come and see the material and take delivery of the material in the condition as is where is basis, and a compensation will be paid to him. Even after we telling him to come and take delivery, he does not take delivery, then the railways will auction the consignment. The problem with auctioning the consignment is very simple. When you auction a consignment, if PCV charges are not paid, then in case of parcel and goods, he will be getting only 50 rupees per kg when PCV charge is not paid, and 100 rupees for luggage. So it is a loss to him. So what people usually do is they will not refuse to take it. If they refuse to take it, auction will be done. Whatever railway will get extra, that is into railways kitty, only 50 rupees per kg, only that will be taken into account for giving compensation to the party if PCV charges are not paid. Okay, Meena, I think that clears your doubt. Period of auction, Meena, I think I'll just have to come back on that another day, because these auctions are a totally different thing. When we deal with lost property office and auction, that time I am going to definitely deal with it. Okay, so right now I will go ahead. For this moment I will go ahead. Now we have seen what is demurrage, what is wharfage and other things. I will give you 5 minutes time. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise I will go for some problem solving, how to solve problems. Anybody, you can just ask any doubts if you are having.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, wharfage charge na ನಾವು ಅದು ವ್ಯಾಗನ್ ಇರುವಾಗ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಸರ್?
Wharfage charge is collected only wagon basis. Demurrage is calculated for the whole rake, because wharfage by
ಈಗ ಅವರು
wharfage. Yeah, tell me.
ಟ್ರಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್.
When it is loaded directly to truck, where is the concept of wharfage?
Correct, sir.
Wharfage charge? No. Wharfage charge. The concept of wharfage will come only when, even after wharfage free time, the demurrage is still incurring. If the demurrage is, if the demurrage is still incurring even after the completion of wharfage free time and demurrage free time, then both demurrage and wharfage are collected, even though the contents are in the wagon. Are you understanding the difference?
Okay, after completion of wharfage free time, even
then even
commodity is inside the wagon,
yes, we
are
have to
collecting
collect wharfage. We will collect wharfage.
Okay, no need to. It is not necessary to. He should ground the commodity.
No, that is the rule that we are telling. No, because if the demurrage free time and the wharfage free time are completed and still the rake is not released,
Yes,
even
sir.
though he is loading directly from truck to wagon, wagon to truck, and he is not utilizing the railway premises at all, even
sir.
then we assume that the floor of the wagon,
Yes.
the floor of the wagon
Is
is
a
still a railway property.
Yes, sir.
Logically,
Sir.
we are collecting it.
Okay, so we are
I have
collecting
a small
Wharfage for
doubt on that.
the.
I have a small doubt on that. I will also ask and get back to you in my next class.
Okay, okay, sir. Then one more, sir.
Ah,
Now we have to collect Wharfage, whatever the leftover wagons are there. If we are going to collect, means
whatever is on the ground,
whatever is the
you know
land.
how many bags of cement will be holding in a wagon,
Okay, sir.
or how many bags of rice will be holding in a wagon. You can see the RR
Correct.
and you will know. That is why we are
Yes, sir.
telling. That is why we are telling when it is unloaded to the ground, contents of each and every wagon should be kept demarcated separately. For the
Okay,
case
sir.
of claims, for the case of wharfage, for all that.
Okay, okay, sir.
Even if you put it in a CWC garage, even there, it has to be
Sir.
segregated so that only then you will know whether even if there is a claim or to collect wharfage charge and all that.
Okay, okay. So ಅದೊಂಚೂರು clarify ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು sir. Even though if it inside the
That I
wagon.
will, yes, yes. Reweightment
Yes,
permitted
sir.
at the destination station at the time of unloading if customer has doubt. Meena, yes, reweightment is permitted only if the seals are tampered with. If the seals are tampered with and there is a reason for the railway and the party to believe that some content might have been removed, only then reweightment is permitted. Otherwise reweightment is not normally permitted. We have seen the reweightment rules. You can watch my previous videos for a recap. Okay, shall we go further? Shall we take some sums on?
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, ಇದು spur wise placement release ಅಲ್ಲಿ Wharfage calculation, sir.
Yes. No. See. What I am conducting here is basic goods classes. So that
Okay.
people who don't know goods and people who know very little goods can get upgraded. Now,
Okay, sir.
advanced commercial or complicated problems in goods, we can deal separately on DM. When you say spur placement, you are meaning to say that out of 42 wagon book, 21 wagons are placed at X to Y time.
Yes, sir.
It is unloaded and kept in the ground.
Yes, sir.
Then after 4 or 5
Yes, sir.
hours, one more loco is coming. Second spur is
Yes,
placed.
sir.
Another 21 wagons are placed. So how to calculate
sir.
wharfage and demurrage? Yes, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Multi spur means multi placement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That particular thing I am not taking up now because it will become too complicated for my young students who are my target. My target is people who don't know anything about goods. I don't want to put too much into their heads.
Right, sir. We will discuss it later, sir.
Exactly. Right now my idea is to the see I am looking at the poorest of the poor in the country. I am just wanting them to become self-sufficient that they get 3 meals a day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, sir. You are right.
I am not thinking of Hotel Ashoka or 5-star hotels now. Okay.
Right.
No, my target is that because I want to tell the basic goods rules to everybody. We
Right.
always can discuss that complicated issues later on.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Right.
Okay. Shall we go for some problems? Sums? Somebody. BPL is below poverty line, Meena. I just told it as a joke, an analogy. That's all. So I think this session is closing. Shall I take a new session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody is having doubts? Somebody who did not attend last week, another 4 minutes is there. I will try to go about demurrage in a brief manner because many of them joined newly. So demurrage charge. See here. Demurrage charge will be levied in a graded manner. This is a new rule for all of you. You can read it once. I will recap it because I got another 3 minutes left in this session, 4 minutes in fact. So, what is the demurrage free time? Duration of excess detention beyond the free time. Now, what is the free time? That free time we have already discussed somewhere. See here, permissible free time. ये जो free time इस टेबल में दिया गया उतना को उसको मुफ्त में मिलेगा. Not even 1 rupee we will charge. Suppose BCNHL wagons are there. 1 to 20 wagons we are giving 5 hours for loading and 5 hours for unloading. 7 hours for 21 to 30 wagons. 9 hours for 31 to 45 wagons. and 11 hours for 46 wagons and above. Okay, that is move, because as a customer he needs some time to unload. But if a rake is detained after this amount of time mentioned here, then we collect a charge called as a demurrage charge, which is a fine. Now this fine, I will give you an analogy. It is like the waiting time for an auto. You are hiring an auto rickshaw or a cab and you are telling that fellow, sir, I want to get down, I want to spend 5 minutes at this one shop, I want to buy something. Then what that Ola fellow or auto fellow will tell, sir, if you take 5 minutes, no problem, or up to maximum 10 minutes, no problem. But if you take more than 10 minutes, you have to pay some 10 rupees, 20 rupees extra, sir, because that is waiting time. Like that minimum time which you are giving 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that is the time which you normally give, okay, without asking. So that after the expiry of that normal free time, up to 6 hours, if there is a delay, we are charging 150 rupees per wagon per hour or part. Beyond 6 hours and up to 12 hours, if the rake is detained, then military material, yes, wharfage and demurrage is also levied for military, Meena. So beyond 6 hours and up to 12 hours, base rate plus 10%. Beyond 12 hours and up to 24 hours, base rate plus 25%. Beyond 24 hours and 48 hours, base rate plus 50%. Beyond 48 hours and up to 72 hours, twice the base rate. Beyond 72 hours, thrice the base rate. Okay, so this is one table which you have to remember. If you remember this one table, all your demurrage problems will be solved. You can solve any problem on demurrage if only you just keep this table in mind. People can just go through this particular table. It's a very important table. Another 2-3 minutes is there. 2 minutes, 1 minute only is there. So automatically let it close. Till then you read this. Okay, somebody is drawing, doodling and all that on my screen. Okay, flat wagon unloading. Flat wagon unloading we have already discussed, Danesh. इधर दिया है देखो, बॉक्स वैगन, बीओ वैगन, 5 घंटा मैकेनाइज्ड लोडिंग और अनलोडिंग के लिए, 7 घंटा अनलोडिंग के लिए, मैनुअल है तो 9 घंटा दिया है लोडिंग और अनलोडिंग दोनों के लिए दिया. देखो टाइम दिया, देखो इधर देखो दानेश, स्क्रीन में दिख रहा है. Danesh, there is some problem with your audio. There is some problem with your audio. Okay. We'll wait for 2 minutes for everybody to join. Am I audible? Somebody can tell. Am I audible? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है क्या? हेलो हेलो. Is my voice coming? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. So, Danesh, your voice is not proper, so don't talk. But however, your free times are given here. I've also shared the complete notes with you in PDF last time. You can go through it. So, this is the most important table which you people should remember. And Meena, you can read here. For RMC and military wagons, demurrage is collected on par with public rates. I think that clears your doubt, Meena. So demurrage is charged, demurrage and wharfage is charged equally for RMC and military wagons also. Okay, so now we will take up some problems. Okay, shall we see some actual real questions? Shall we go for freight calculation and then demurrage, or directly demurrage today? Does anybody know how to calculate freight, or does anybody want to go from freight and then to demurrage? Shall we go to demurrage today and take up freight calculation another day? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now that we are in demurrage, we will finish demurrage. And freight calculation also, I got some problems. I will teach you. The very good sums are there with me. You can, I will teach you one by one, and then I will share this also with you so that you can see freight calculation for wagon load, train load, how to calculate, rounding off rules, everything is there. Okay, I got some very good examples. Some 8 or 10 examples are there. It will help you very much. Now today we are talking about calculation of demurrage and wharfage charges. Okay, the question is like this. So if people are having pen and paper or something, you can keep it with you handy so that you can calculate and you can get knowledge. Please don't think that because FOIS has come, everything will be calculated in FOIS, we need not do anything. It is wrong. Because many a time you will have to know how to calculate the demurrage and wharfage charges on your own. Okay, so it is always good that you keep a pen and paper on hand and try to work it out yourself. On my screen I am keeping it. You people can just go through that, go through it, and you can read it and you can solve it. So the first question is like this: one BCN wagon. We are talking about only one BCN wagon here. We are not talking about a whole rake. The next sum will be calculating about a rake. Reena is always unmuted. Okay. One BCN wagon loaded with 600 bags of jover, placed for unloading at 9 hours of 2/1/2022. Goods were unloaded at 18 hours on same date 2/1/2022. Goods were removed from the railway premises at 18 hours of 3/1, that means the next day evening. Working hours and business hours or goods shed are 6 to 22 hours. Station is group 2 type. Calculate the demurrage and wharfage charges. Please read the question once or twice and then ask any queries if you have before I proceed to solve it. Solution is already there. I will explain the solution to you, but before that I want you people to just go through that. So anybody having a doubt on the question? We are dealing with only one wagon here for illustrative purposes. That means just to show you how to calculate, we are starting from the simplest question. We are telling one BCN wagon of 600 bags jover, placed for unloading at 9 o'clock on dates 2/1. Goods unloading is completed at 18 hours on the same day. Goods were removed from the railway premises at 18 hours of next day 3/1. The working hours of goods shed is from 6 o'clock to 22 hours. We are asked to calculate the demurrage and wharfage, keeping in mind that this particular station is a group 2 station. Everybody understood the question? Have you understood the question? Anybody having a doubt? Anybody having a doubt? Okay. So now we will go for solving it. Calculation of demurrage. Name of the commodity is jowar, food grain or agricultural product. Why we think it is food grain or agricultural product? I will tell you in 2 or 3 minutes. Please be patient. Placement of the BCN wagon, 9 hours of 2-1. Free time for unloading, 5 working hours. Why it is 5 working hours? Anybody can tell me?
Sir, 1 to 20 wagons, it is 5 hours, sir.
Fantastic.
Mini BC.
Yes, 1 to 5, the number of wagons is important for this particular wagon. Only one wagon. So for one wagon, the free time is 5 hours. As you can remember, it is 5 hours. Now, the goods shed working hours is from 6 o'clock to 22 hours. The free time expired at 12 o'clock. 14 hours, because 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, 9 o'clock to 5 hours from 9 o'clock is 14 hours. 14 hours itself the free time is expired. However, unloading completed at 18 hours. 14 to 18 we have 4 hours left. So demurrage should be charged for 4 hours. Now, base rate of demurrage for up to 6 hours is 180 rupees for an 8-wheeler wagon per hour or part thereof. So we will calculate the demurrage first. The demurrage formula is number of wagons into number of hours into the base rate. One wagon, number of wagons, number of hours 4 and base rate 150. So 600 rupees it comes to. For agricultural products, there is no GST, so GST of 5% is nil. Now I think you appreciate the reason why we specifically named the commodity. Okay, so the GST is nil and the total comes to 600 rupees. Now let us calculate the wharfage charge. Okay, let me stop here. Let me ask if at all you have any doubts regarding this particular demurrage portion. Just to see only the demurrage portion, and anybody having a doubt you can ask. Anybody? Okay, I understand that you have understood this. The important concept is 9 o'clock it placed, 5 working hours, 9 plus 5 is 14, 14 hours demurrage free time expired. The wagon was completed at 18 hours, 14 to 18 is 4 hours. For 4 hours we have to collect the demurrage. Up to 6 hours we are collecting at the base rate of 150 per hour or part of an hour, and we are coming to 600 rupees. Okay. Now we are going to see the calculation of wharfage. Free time for unloading, please read this very carefully because this is a little complicated because demurrage is also involved. So please pay attention to the screen. Free time for unloading expires at 14 hours. Okay. Now, free time for removal of goods from a grade 2 station is 15 working hours. You already know that. Free time for removal expires at what time? 14 hours to 22 hours on 2-1 is 8 hours. Okay. So the 14 hours, the free time for unloading is expiring. From that time we have to collect the ground rent also. Somebody asked last time if demurrage is also incurring, wharfage is also incurring. So demurrage we calculated from 14 hours, wharfage also we are calculating from 14 hours. Okay. Anybody who wants to have us a doubt, Please ask here itself. Free time for removal expires at 14 hours of 14 hours because 15 hours free time. So what is the free time? From 14 hours to 22 hours on the first day is having 8 hours time. Muft, free. We are not calculating any wharfage. 22 hours good shed is closing. Up to next day morning 6 o'clock he cannot take the material out. So no charges are there. Again his clock will start from 6 o'clock of next day morning till 13 hours. 8 hours he has taken here out of the total 15 hours remaining for him. 8 hours is over on the first day. 6 o'clock to 13 hours, the remaining 7 hours is also over. So from 13 hours of 3-1 his wharfage will start. Anybody having a doubt on this particular aspect, please ask now because it is a little complicated. Free time for unloading 14 hours it expired. From 14 hours of 2 he is having 15 hours time. In that up to 22 hours only our good shed is working because we have told it's not a round the clock good shed. 14 hours to 22 hours, 8 hours is over on the first day. We stop the clock because 22 hours to 6 o'clock it is not working. 6 o'clock again we start the clock until okay the remaining 7 hours you have up to 13 hours. So before 13 hours of 3-3 you can remove the material from our railway premises free of cost without paying a single money. Okay, understood? Anybody having a doubt till there?
Sir,
Huh.
50% of the time is continued to be reckoned between 22 and 6. So what does that mean?
See, that is only when there is no time left for him. ये जो on the first day he is still having time, only 8 hours he has utilized out of the 15 hours available to him. Only 8 hours he has utilized here. Suppose the wagon was the premises was cleared on 4-1 or 5-1, then even the night time we will calculate the wharfage. On the first day,
Okay, sir.
on the first day, because free time is still available, that question will not arise.
Okay, sir. Got it.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
The question of wharfage or demurrage for the night will start only if there is some time left. If there is no time left, then that question will not arise at all. Okay? Shall we go further?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, up to 13 hours he has got wharfage free time on 3-1. From then on his wharfage will start. He has removed the goods at 18 hours of 3-1. So from 13 hours to 18 hours, 5 hours of wharfage should be charged. Anybody having a doubt regarding this till here? Why we came to that 5 hours? How we came to that 5 hours? Okay. Now we have to calculate that wharfage for this amount of time, that is for 5 hours. How do we calculate the wharfage? Wharfage is calculated by a very simple formula. Because it is a group 2 station, we already know that for a group 2 station, please see my screen, let us go back to that and see it. For a group 2 station, 150 rupees per wagon or part thereof per hour is the wharfage charge. So 120 rupees per wagon per hour or part thereof is to be charged. So wharfage formula, number of hours into number of wagons into the rate, 5 hours into 1 wagon into 120, that is 600. And again there is no GST because it is an agricultural product. So the wharfage charge is also coming to 600. Although they have no relationship with the 600, it is purely coincidental. Okay? Purely coincidental. So please see the wharfage calculation and you can ask any doubt. It is on the screen, you see it and you can ask a doubt.
Sir,
Hmm.
GST exemption is for how many items?
Many items are exempted from GST. That I will tell you when I am taking class on that. I will take a class on all the things. I will remember. I am writing it down.
Okay, sir.
Okay, shall we go further? Anybody having any other doubt? Sandhya, Soumya, and our JG is there. Our station master is also there.
It's a concept of RR, railways risk and owner's risk, that comes in Wharfage, Demurrage both.
No. There is no connection between railway risk rate and owner risk rate for demurrage and wharfage. That is only for charging and only for claims part.
Okay. So like there was one question, if livestock dies before 12 hours, in
yes,
that case,
yes.
RR and OR is considered or not?
No, PCEB charge is considered. Percentage charge on excess value is considered. I will tell you. I have got that class with me. Meena is also asked the same question. I will tell you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shall we go further? Any other doubt here? Okay. Shall we go to the next sum? Another example? Okay. Now we are going into little more complication. Please keep a pen and paper so that you can write it down, work it down. Okay. Now the question is like this. A BCN A rake consisting of 42 wagons loaded with food grains placed for unloading at 8 o'clock on 2/2. Goods were unloaded at 20 hours on 3/2. Please see the date very carefully. 8 o'clock of 2/2 the rake is placed. Unloading is completed at 20 hours of the next day. Okay? And 35 wagon material removed from railway premises within the free time. Out of 35 removed, the remaining 7 wagons goods were removed at 20 hours of 5/2. The station is group 2. Working hours and business hours is from 6 to 22. Find the demurrage and the wharfage. Is this a little more complicated? Is it not? This question is little more complicated. So can we go for the solution? We will first see how we are calculating the demurrage. Pay attention to this. The commodity is food grains, agricultural product. What is the advantage of agricultural product? For agricultural product, what is not collected?
GST not collected, sir.
GST not collected.
Not collected.
GST is not collected. Very good. So we don't collect GST for a agricultural product. Now the placement of this BCN rake, 8 o'clock of 2/2, number of wagons 42, free time for unloading 9 working hours. Okay, if you see here, if you see this table, let me show you the table. See here, can you see this highlighted portion? 31 and above, 9 working hours, covered wagons other than BCN HL. Okay, so we have to give him 9 working hours. What is the working hours of the goods shed? 6 to 22 hours. When does the free time expire? 8 o'clock placement, 9 hours added to 8 o'clock, 17 hours. So free time expires at 17 hours of 2/2/2022. For this particular line, do you have any doubt? Okay. Unloading completed at 20 hours of 3-2. Please see the date here. Very important. What is the extra time taken? 17 hours of 2-2 to 17 hours of 3-2. 24 hours. Please pay attention here, all of you. We have calculated night time demurrage also. We are not given any night time free time. Why? Like we discussed, the night free time is available only when there is any free time left for unloading. Otherwise, रात को भी वो पूरा पैसे जो है वो लेना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि शाम 5 बजे इसका टाइम खत्म हो गया 2 तारीख का, और 3 तारीख का वो अनलोडिंग पूरा किया. इसके लिए 5 o'clock of 2-2 to 5 o'clock of 3-3 we calculate it as 24 hours without giving any free time in the night. No money, no freedom is given for him in the night also. And then from 17 hours of 3-3 to 20 hours of 3-3, another 3 hours. For easy calculation, we have done like this: 17 hours of 2-2 to 17 hours of 3-3, we have taken 24 hours. Because the rake is unloaded at 20 hours of 3-3, the unloading is completed, not the removal, unloading only. So another 3 hours is there. The total time taken is 27 hours. Any doubt regarding this from anybody? How we came to this 27 hours? Anybody having a doubt how we came to this concept of 27 hours? Okay, fine. Night time freedom is not given when the demurrage, unloading free time is expired within 22 hours. Otherwise, he would have got night time free also. Even if he had got 15 minutes or half an hour, he would have bachav. But here, unfortunately, morning 8 o'clock itself, rake is placed. 8 o'clock to 9 hours is 17 hours. From 17 hours, the clock is ticking without waiting for any night freedom. So the total time is 27 hours. The rule for demurrage charge, please read this. Again, we have given it here also for easy understanding so that we need not go back to that PDF. 150 rupees for the first 6 hours. 6 to 12 hours, 150 plus 10%. Beyond 12 hours up to 24 hours, 150 plus 25%. So let us calculate the demurrage. The demurrage formula is number of wagons into number of hours into the rate. For 42 wagons, for the first 6 hours, you know that we are the first slab. Base rate 150 rupees. Please mute, Amma. Please mute. So 6 hours, 150 rupees, 37,800 rupees. That is the first calculation. Now the second calculation. We know the total number of hours. The total number of hours that we have to collect demurrage is 27. So we have to break up this 27 like this. The first 6 hours, we have calculated this much. Then 6 to 12 hours. For that duration, we know that 42 rupees, 42 wagons, 6 hours, because 6 to 12 hours is 6 hours, 150 into 110%, it comes to 41,580 rupees. We keep it as point number 2. Now we calculate for the remaining time. The remaining time is 12 to 24 hours. So 12 to 24 hours is 12 hours. For that 12 hours, for 42 wagons, 150 into 125%, we come to 94,500. We mark it as Roman 3. Then we are going to the next one. Demurrage charge for more than 24 hours and up to 48 hours here, although it is 24 hours is there, if we calculate the total time here we have taken 6 hours, here 6 hours, here 12 hours. So 12 plus 12, 24 hours over, 3 hours left over. Agreed? We have got 3 hours left over. Only for that 3 hours we calculate at this slab, which is 42 wagons into the remaining 3 hours into 150 into 150% by 100, which is 28,350. That we keep it as Roman 4. So the total demurrage will be Romans 1 to 4 combined, which you can see here, 37,800 plus 41,580 plus 94,500 plus for those 3 remaining hours at this rate. So the total demurrage will be 2,02,230 rupees. Because it is agricultural product, there is no GST involved. The total demurrage will be 2,02,230 rupees. I'll give you a minute time. Just go through the sum. I'll try to minimize it. Yeah, I have minimized it. You go through this and you can ask any doubt if you are having. So you just go through this first part. I'll shift the page later on. This is the important part where you calculate how much time to be taken. 27 hours. How we come to the 27 hours? It is there on your screen. You just go through that. I'll give you a minute time. Assimilate it. Digest it. Okay, anybody has a doubt on this? Show the question please. She wants to see the question. Okay, the question is there, Meena. This is the question. Okay, shall we go ahead? So, how we came to this 24 hours? It is very simple. 9 working hours is the free time. Rake placed 8 o'clock. 9 hours ends at 17 hours. Night time free is not given to him. Although the rake good shed is working 6 to 22 hours only. Even then night time freedom is not given to him because we are into demurrage already. It is like mandatory overs in cricket. Okay, like that. We are already in the mandatory overs. So there is nothing yet to be done. So what we do, we have to know, okay, this session will end in 10 minutes. I will come back to the new one. However, we will keep continuing here. Okay, so how we come to this 24 hours? The free time is expiring at 17 hours of 2-2 itself. From 17 hours of 2-2 to 17 hours of 3-3, 24 hours we are calculating. The rake is released at 20 hours, so left over 3 hours, total 27 hours. Based on the 27 hours, we are calculating the demurrage. For the first 6 hours, only 150 rupees. The other things remain constant. 42 wagons, 66 hours, 150. It comes to this much. Then the next slab, 6 hours to 12 hours. For that 6 hours, we are incrementing it by 10%. This is the formula. This is the whole blue thing is the formula. Meena, 35 wagons are unloaded within free time. We have to calculate for 7 wagons. That's what Meena is asking. Unfortunately, Meena, for demurrage, even if only one wagon is left over, even if only one bag,
For the 4 rake.
even if only one bag in is left over, even then we calculate the demurrage charge for all the complete rake. When for wharfage only these 35 wagons will come into consideration, Meena. Hope I am making it clear to you. మీనా గారు మీకు అర్థమైందా? డెమరేజ్కు ఈ పరిస్థితి లేదు. డెమరేజ్కు ఒక్క వ్యాగన్లో ఒక్క బ్యాగ్ ఉన్నా కూడా డెమరేజ్ కలెక్ట్ చేయాలి. కాకపోతే వార్ఫేజ్కు నేను వార్ఫేజ్ ఇప్పుడు డీల్ చేస్తాను 5 నిమిషాల్లో, అప్పుడు మీకు తెలుస్తుంది. వార్ఫేజ్కు ఈ 35 వ్యాగన్లు 7 వ్యాగన్లు మిగతా ఉండేది, ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ టు క్వశ్చన్. సో నౌ గోయింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు దిస్ డెమరేజ్. సో ఫ్రమ్ 6 to 12 hours, for that 6 hours we have calculated this. Then from 12 hours to 24 hours, for those 12 hours at the increased rate of 25% more, this is the formula 42 into 12 into 150 into 125 by 100. This by 100 has come to the next page. Then for the remaining 3 hours we have to calculate at 50%. Why the remaining 3 hours? Because here 6 hours, here 6 hours, here 12 hours. 24 hours gone, another 3 hours left over for the 27. This is the way we calculate. There is no GST. Anybody having a doubt? Please ask, no problem. This class is for the people who cannot understand at all. You have to ask. If you are having a doubt, you can ask. Nobody having a doubt? Everybody understood it 100%?
Yes, sir.
This is new, yaar. Okay, good. Good that you understood. Okay, so this is the part about demurrage calculation. Now let me zoom it again and go to wharfage calculation. Now we are calculating the wharfage. Wharfage calculation, please remember that wharfage is not charged for all the wagons. Wharfage is charged only for the leftover wagons, material which is available in the railway premises. Now wharfage free time, let us calculate. Free time for unloading expires what time? 17 hours of 2 itself it expires. From that 17 hours, parties, any rebate will be given for demurrage. No rebate for demurrage, Meena. Kakapote, both demurrage and wharfage can be waived off. When we in the next week I will discuss about waival of demurrage and wharfage charge. What are the conditions for waival and how the party will get back the money and everything, we will discuss in the next class. Right now there is no rebate on it, but it can be completely maafi bhi, fully maafi bhi kar sakta hai, 100%. Okay, now free time for unloading expires at 17 hours of 2. It's a group 2 station, so 15 working hours are there for him to remove the material. Free time for him expires at 17 hours to 22 hours. 5 hours was there. Please remember, here we are giving him free time for wharfage for the night. Why? Because both are different calculations. There demurrage free time was not available to him at that night, whereas wharfage free time is still there for him at the night, so we are giving him wharfage free time. Okay, so wharfage free time we are giving 17 hours to 22 hours. 5 hours he has utilized, then 22 hours to 6 hours is free, nothing will be calculated. Again the clock starts at 6 o'clock. 5 hours gone here out of 15, another 10 hours remaining. 6 o'clock to 16 hours is the 10 hours. So at 16 hours of 3-2 his wharfage free time will expire. See the difference in the calculation of demurrage and wharfage. That is why we are making it more and more complicated as we go into the sum. So here what we are telling, 5 hours first day is having free, 22 hours good shed closed, completely band. Next day morning 6 o'clock again clock starts ticking for wharfage. It ends at 16 hours because 10 hours was left, 16 hours it's over. From 16 hours of 3-2 the free time expired. from that time onwards wharfage is calculated. Now we are coming to one very important part. For demurrage, even if only one wagon is left over, demurrage is charged. Whereas for wharfage, this is a very important statement. How many content of how many wagons are left in the railway premises? That's a very important question. So 35 wagons already removed. How many wagons are left over out of 42? 7 wagons are left over, and that 7 wagon contents are removed at 20 hours of 5-2. Now we have to calculate the extra time taken. 16 hours free time expired, up to 16 hours of 4-2, 24 hours we are given. Then 16 hours of 4-2 to 16 hours of 5-2, another 24 hours. 16 hours of 5-2 to 20 hours of 5-2, 4 hours left over. Total extra hours taken for removal 52 hours. Because these 7 wagons were removed at 20 hours of 5-2, alternate day, not even the next day. Now we'll calculate the wharfage. Very simple calculation here, unlike demurrage. Straightforward, no slab here. 120 rupees groups 2 station, 120 rupees per wagon per hour or part. Formula: number of hours into number of wagons into the rate. Straightforward calculation. 52 hours, 7 wagons, contents of 7 wagons, that is 120 rupees, 43,680. GST at 5% is nil because it's an agricultural product, and the wharfage is 43,680 rupees. So we have only 1 minute in this session. I will get back to this session and I will discuss the doubts. I will close this session and come back in a new session. Please come back to the new session. Am I audible? Anybody can confirm? Am I audible? Can anybody hear me or not? Am I audible? Sandhya, are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
I can hear you, but I'm not able to pay 100% attention to it.
Okay, that's all.
I'm on duty, so I'll listen to your video
Okay.
class again.
Okay. So let us now see the sum in detail and try to understand it. So we have all seen the sum. Anybody has got a doubt? You please tell me. Anybody has got a doubt how we are calculating and all that? You please tell me. No doubts? Everybody understood it fully? Shall we go to the next problem? I'll give another 2 minutes for everybody to join. JG, how are you? Are you able to understand?
Sir, it's somewhat because I'm not getting proper internet connection.
That is okay. Anyway, I am sharing the video, and any time you can ask in the office also, I can explain to you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No problem. Okay, I know that things are not proper. You can just listen as much as possible. Remaining, I will take care. No problem. I will take care.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So Anybody has got a doubt? Gautam, please give me an example for livestock to be unloaded situation. Okay, we will take it up, ma. Right now, let us finish this Wharfage lesson. One more example also I want to show you. Shall we go to the next problem? Anybody has got a doubt in this, or shall we go to the next problem?
Sir,
Ah.
that 50% of the time is to be counted for the night time. Here I have counted the entire time.
For, pardon?
For Wharfage, it was written 50% of the time will be counted between 22 and 6.
If it is a round the clock shed, then only.
Only if it is a round the clock working shed, then as an incentive, see here, let me show you here, let me show you this. See here, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is only applicable for a certain conditions. Okay, when it is a 24-hour working shed only. Any other doubt? I'll go to the next problem. Okay, the next problem is like this. A BCNA rake consisting of 42 wagons cement placed for unloading at 16 hours on 12/3, unloading of 30 wagons completed at 10 hours of 13/3, and remaining 12 wagons unloading completed at 18 hours of 13/3. Let me minimize it so that you can see it in one page. So a BCN wagon, cement, 42 wagons, rake. It is placed for unloading at 16 hours, and then that unloading is completed 30 wagons at 10 hours of 13/3, remaining 12 wagons unloading completed 18 hours of 13/3, consignment removed from railway premises 11 hours of 14/3, group 1 station 6 o'clock to 22 hours, Wharfage and Demurrage. Now what do you think is the difference between, for this main thing, why we are highlighting cement?
This is for food grain.
Huh?
GST will be applicable.
Yes, for a cement wagon, GST will be applicable. Okay, you have to pay GST. Now let us see the solution. Shall we go for the solution?
Sir, once again, please show the problem, please.
Let me share the problem again. Out of 42 wagon, one wagon is empty. Okay, we will tell you, Meena. We will tell you. Right now, let's. Okay, now the problem is like this. BCNA wagon, cement, 42 wagons, 16 hours placed, 12/3, unloading of 30 wagons completed 10 hours of 13/3, remaining 12 wagons unloading completed 18 hours of 13/3, consignment was removed from railway premises 11 hours of 14/3, group 1 station 6 to 22 hours. Everybody understood the question properly? Anybody having a doubt in the question itself? Not the solution, the question itself. Okay, so we will go ahead and try to solve it. Name of the commodity is cement. it will come into application because GST is there. The rake was placed 16 hours of 12/3, 42 BCN wagons. Free time for 42 wagons is 9 hours, we know already. The goods shed is working from 6 o'clock to 22 hours. Rake placed 16 hours. 16 to 22 hours, 6 hours of free time is there on 12/3. Overnight he is having free time, nothing is charged, clock stops. Again morning 6 o'clock clock starts to tick. Up to 9 o'clock he is having the remaining 3 hours because he has utilized 6 hours on the first day. Second day up to 9 o'clock he is having time on 13th. So free time expires at 9 o'clock of 13/3. After that the demurrage is starting. Now let us calculate the demurrage. Last unloading was done at 18 hours. As far as demurrage is concerned, we do not care about this, what I am marking in blue. Unloading of 30 wagons was completed and remaining 12 wagons. This we are not at all bothered here in the demurrage calculation. Because demurrage is calculated up to the last wagon. Please mute Jagadishan. Why are you unmuting here? So the last wagon is completed at 18 hours of 13/3. 9 hours of 13/3 to 18 hours of 13/3, the demurrage is calculated. Extra time taken 9 hours to 18 hours, 9 hours. For 9 hours, we know that this is the calculation for the first 6 hours, base rate. Remaining 3 hours are there, it should be obviously calculated at this rate. That is 150 plus 10%. Let us go to the calculation directly. The demurrage formula is number of wagons into number of hours into rake. First portion direct calculation at 150 rupees. 42 into 6 into 150. 37,800 in the first slab. We call it Roman 1. Coming to the second portion. Demurrage charge for more than 6 hours and up to 12 hours. 6 hours already gone here out of the total 9 hours. So only 3 hours are left over. For that 3 hours, we are calculating using this formula. 42 into 6 hours, into 3 hours, into 150, into 110% by 100. That comes out to 20,790 rupees. We call that Roman 2. The total demurrage is addition of Roman 1 and Roman 2 highlighted above. 37,800 plus 20,790. It works out to 58,590 rupees. Remember that cement does not have an exception for GST. The GST is 5%. 2,925 rupees 5 paise is the GST at 5% of this amount. Addition of both of them gives 61,519.5. We know that in goods it is to the next higher. 5 rupees we calculate, so 20 rupees it is rounded off here and given as 61,520 rupees. Anybody is having a doubt regarding this demurrage calculation, you can please ask now. Anybody having doubt about demurrage calculation? Nobody? Hello? Anybody? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, no doubt.
No doubt. Very good. Shall we go further? Now we have to calculate wharfage. Now how do we calculate wharfage for this? Free time for unloading, it expires at 9 hours of 13:3. For a group 1 station, please remember, very important to know the group of the station. For group 1 station, the free time is 12 hours and not 15 hours. Okay. "12 working hours is the free time." So how do we calculate the 12 working hours? 9 o'clock of, from the 9 o'clock onwards the clock is ticking up to 21 hours. 12 hours is gone. Okay. So for goods removed from the railway premises, 11 hours on 14/3. The extra time taken, see here, 21 hours is expired. Unfortunately for him, 21 hours itself is expired. If it was even 15 minutes left over, it is okay. But here he had 1 hour already left over. So unfortunately, the wharfage will start from that minute onwards, 9 o'clock onwards. 21 to odd hours on 13/3, 3 hours is there. So then odd hours to 11 hours, 11 hours is there. So totally 14 hours extra time taken. Any doubt regarding this, how we calculated this? Please ask, any doubt is there here? Nobody? Very good. So the extra...
round clock?
Pardon?
Sir, is this a round the clock depot?
No, it is not around the clock depot. But
Then why after 22 hours we have taken the time for wharfage?
no. Please see this. 9 o'clock to 21 hours of the first day. When on the first day we have given him free 21 hours. At 21 hours itself, the time for him to removal is over. So night freedom cannot be given to him. Okay,
If this was overlapping the 22 hours, then we should have given the
yes
free time.
yes. If that बेचारा had even 1.5 घंटा का टाइम उसका पास है तो वो बचाओ, मगर अनफॉर्चुनेटली बेचारा को टाइम नहीं है. 9 बजे को खत्म हुआ. 9 बजे से बिना फ्री टाइम 1 मिनट भी बिना छोड़ के उसको पूरा हम लगना पड़ेगा वॉरफेज. ओके, अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how we come to 14 hours of wharfage. Now we have to calculate the wharfage charge. 150 per wagon for group 1 station. The 14 hours, 42 wagons, 150 rupees. It comes to 88,200 rupees. So now you can see that this was simply given for confusing. Which one? This 32 wagons were removed, 30 wagons completed. Nowhere in our calculation we have used that data. Okay, it is simply to confuse you people that question was framed that way purposefully. So the calculation of wharfage is very simple. The material should be taken out of the railway premises. If the material is there in the railway premises, for all the wagons we have to calculate. Unfortunately, that is the case here. So wharfage formula is number of hours 14, number of wagons 42, rate 150, no slab for wharfage, GST is 5%. It comes to 4,410. The total charge is addition of this and this. It comes to 92,610. Any doubt anybody regarding this wharfage charge? Let me minimize it a little. Okay. Any doubt regarding this? Anybody? Shall we move further to the next question? Anybody is having any doubts here? Okay, I'll go to the next question. (42 BCNA wheat placed for unloading, Group 1 station, 6 o'clock of 1/3/2018. Unloading completed 19 hours of 1/3. Goods removed from railway premises 21 hours of 2/3. Please remember the date, very important. Working hours 6 o'clock to 22 hours. Calculate the demurrage and wharfage charge. So let us start the calculation. Name of the commodity wheat, again agricultural product. If it is an agricultural product, there is no
GST.
If there is a food grain, there is no GST. The rake was placed 6 o'clock, 42 wagons, 9 working hours, 9 plus 6, 15 hours the free time expired. However, the rake was released only next day. The rake was released at 19 hours itself on that day. So, from 15 hours to that period, we have to calculate the demurrage. Free time expires at 6 o'clock plus 9 o'clock, 15 hours the free time expired. 19 hours the rake was released. So demurrage is for 4 hours. Any doubt regarding this? Okay. Now we know that this is the demurrage rule. Fortunately for us, 4 hours comes in the first slab itself. Very easy calculation of demurrage here. Number of wagons, number of hours, rate. Only 4 hours. So 42 wagons, 4 hours, 150 rupees, 25,200. Now we know that there is no GST for food grains, so 0. Total demurrage 25,200 rupees. Any doubt regarding the calculation of demurrage here? Anybody? देखो कितना आसान है आपका, यदि मन में ठीक से आ गया, बेसिक्स फाउंडेशन ठीक से है तो आप कितना बड़ा कैलकुलेशन भी कर सकता है आसानी से, है ना. मगर जो हमारा आपका जो ये बेस ठीक नहीं है, आपका फाउंडेशन ठीक नहीं है, आपका जो टेबल्स वन टेबल व्हेन वी वर चिल्ड्रन वी यूज्ड टू रीड usually up to 16th table. We have to mug it. It was very easy. We used to understand all the sums. Nowadays children, they are not able to keep memory because they don't have this. Like this, if your basics are strong, then this problem solving will be very easy. Shall we go for wharfage calculation? How is wharfage calculated? Free time for unloading expires at 15 hours. For removal of a grade 1 station after the unloading free time 12 working hours. Please remember it is 12 working hours. So 15 hours to 22 hours on the first day is having 7 hours. Night clock is stopping. Again morning 6 o'clock clock starts for the remaining 5 hours. 6 o'clock to 11 hours, that 5 hours is completed. So the free time for removal expires at 11 hours of 2-3. Goods were removed at 21 hours of 2-3. Extra time taken 21 hours, 11 hours to 21 hours or 10 hours. Again a very simple calculation. Wharfage charge is 150 rupees per wagon for group 1 station. Number of hours into wagons into rate. 10 hours, 42 wagons, 150 rupees, 63,000. No GST because it is a wheat wagon, agricultural product. 63,000 is that wharfage charge. So any doubt regarding this wharfage calculation? Okay. Shall we go ahead to the next problem? Shall we go ahead? Anybody having a doubt or any questions? Okay. A BCNA rake, 42 wagons, cement, group 1 station, 8 o'clock of 1-3, unloading completed at 7 hours of 2-3, consignment removed 20 hours of 2-3, 6 o'clock to 22 hours, calculate the demurrage and wharfage. So first of all we have to find out the number of hours that we have to see. So how do we calculate the time? The concept is very simple. 8 o'clock placement, 42 wagons, 9 working hours, 9 hours plus 8, 9 plus 8, that will be the end, 17 hours, 9 plus 8 plus 9, 17 hours is free time ended on 1-3. From 17 hours onwards the demurrage will start. Wagon unloaded at 7 hours. So the total number of hours, 17 hours of 1-3 to 7 hours of 2-3 is 14 hours. Night time, no respite is given to him. He has to pay full. Simple reason, free time is not overlapping, no mafi. 14 hours of demurrage. We know that first 6 hours 150 rupees, next 6 to 12 hours, for the next 6 hours 150 plus 10, for the remaining he will be going into the third slab. So first 6, total 14 hours, first 6 hours will be this slab, next 6 hours will be this slab, 6 plus 6, 12 hours gone, remaining 2 hours will be in the third slab. Let us see that calculation. So the first slab, for the first 6 hours, 42 wagons, 6 hours, base fare, base demurrage, 150 rupees, 37,800, call it Roman 1. Next 6 hours, 10% more, 42 wagons, 6 hours, 150 into 10% by 100, 41,580, call it Roman 2. Then for the remaining 2 hours as already discussed, 42 wagons, 2 hours, 150 into 125 by 100, 15,750 rupees, Roman 3. So the total demurrage will be addition of Roman 1, 2 and 3, all the 3 added together, 95,130. Because it is a cement wagon, GST at 5% is calculated, 4,756 rupees 50 paise. The total of this is 99,886.5, and we are calculating to the next higher 1 rupee 99,890 sorry 99,889,887 is the total. That will be the total demurrage charge. Anybody having a doubt regarding the demurrage of this demurrage calculation, you can please talk now. See, very important concept you have understood today. How to calculate demurrage, how to calculate wharfage. Both are very important. I have got lot of sums on freight calculation also, which is very important. Next Saturday I will be taking up that freight calculation. Please keep a paper, pen and calculator ready if possible. So now we have to calculate the wharfage.
Can you share this PDF?
I have already shared it. This PDF, no, this PDF is not shared. I'll share it. I'll share this PDF. Now calculation of the wharfage charge. Free time for unloading expires at 17 hours of 1-3. Grade 1 station, 12 working hours, 17 hours to 22 hours, 5 hours. Please notice here, night time we are giving free because wharfage time is still there for him. Because time is still there, night 22 hours, we are closing our good side. Hello? Who's that? Mute, yaar, mute and talk. Okay, so 5 hours is gone here, 17 to 22. Out of the 12 hours, 5 hours is gone, remaining 7 hours is there. Good shed open 6 o'clock, 6 plus 7, 13 hours. So at 13 hours, his free time expires. However, 20 hours only it was removed. So for 7 hours we have to calculate the wharfage. Wharfage calculation is always very simple, no slab here. 150 rupees, 7 hours, 42 wagons, 150 rupees, straightforward calculation, 44,100.
On the fan, yes.
44,100. The GST is 5%, 2,205 because it is a cement wagon. The total wharfage is 46,305 rupees. Anybody having a doubt on this calculation of wharfage? Please tell me. Anybody having a doubt, you can just ask.
So one doubt, sir.
Yes, ask.
So within the free time, some 10 vehicles are loaded and the material also removed from the railway premises, good shed. In that also wharfage will be calculated. For example, 42 wagons placed, 10 wagons are loaded and the goods was removed from the railway.
When the goods are removed from the railway premises, there is no concept of wharfage. But demurrage will keep.
Demurrage will be included for the whole ring.
Yes. But once, see, please understand the concept. Wharfage is for the ground rent. If his material
Ground
is
rent,
not
yes.
on the ground, we will not charge.
Okay.
But if the demurrage and wharfage are going on simultaneously, if the rake is not released even within the wharfage free time, not demurrage free time, if the rake is not released even after the wharfage free time, then wharfage is also calculated with demurrage.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My question is not answered. What is your question? Can you please retype your question, Meena? I don't know what is your question. Okay. Out of 42 wagon, 1 wagon is empty. How demurrage will be calculated? It depends on the railway receipt. Usually, we are charging on a rake basis. When we charge on a rake basis, then we are calculating the train load benefit. Train load benefit is given for 42 wagons. We are giving him the benefit of train load benefit. When we give the train load benefit, then the demurrage also will be charged for whether the load is there or not. Just because it is an empty wagon, we cannot leave it out. It depends on the railway receipt. The railway receipt will speak. Okay, now we have finished the calculations of demurrage and wharfage. Anybody wants to ask any questions, we can ask.
Sir.
Yes, somebody was asking.
Yes, sir. Me, Soumya. Sir, I just wanted to clear some few theory concepts of Wharfage and Demurrage.
Tell me, ask.
So, this Demurrage is levied on everything, whether it is a private siding or railways. But Wharfage is only for railway siding, na? As it belongs to the idle area, like land is utilized of railway. If it is a private siding, there would be concept of Wharfage, right?
100% correct. You cannot charge rent for somebody's house. Your house you can charge rent. Can you charge rent for somebody's house?
More, sir. And if it is our railways siding and the material which we are using is belongs to railway, in that concept can be used, can be levied this wharfage?
Yes, wharfage and demurrage are both levied for RMC and military traffic also. For all
sir, I just
practical.
had this doubt. I thought
No.
wharfage would be.
No. For all practical purposes, this wharfage and demurrage charge will apply equally for RMC traffic also.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
There is no let go of that on wharfage. Okay, wharfage is calculated for all this thing.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
But if it is a railway owned wagon, here in this you can see what I have highlighted. However, it is not leviable for detention of goods in a railway wagon. Here railway wagon means certain wagons of the railway owned by that department, mechanical department or engineering department, not a public wagon. But we don't have such wagons now. All the public wagons only are used for RMC. So for that, wharfage is still chargeable. You are understanding the difference?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other doubt? Anybody else having any doubt? Okay. So I think somebody is asking that out. Please give an example. Livestock to be another. Okay, we will talk about that. Sir, removal time may be extended on permission of competent authority. I don't understand what is your question. How can we extend the removal time? What is the meaning of that word? Can you be more specific? What is the meaning of Nishant Tiwari? You have asked a question. Sir, removal time may be extended on permission of competent authority. There is no question of anybody extending that time. This is a Government of India time set by the Ministry of Railways. How can extend the free time? Nobody can extend the free time. Wharfage and demurrage can be waived. If there is a wharfage or demurrage, it can be माफी करने के लिए प्रोविजन है, मगर पूरा रद्द करने.
हेलो सर.
हाँ, टेल मी.
सर इसमें ऐसा है कि जैसे वो सर्कमस्टांसेस पे भी डिपेंड करता है. जैसे मान लीजिए बंचिंग ऑफ रैक एक टर्म होता है, बंचिंग ऑफ रैक या कुछ ऐसी प्रॉब्लम है या कुछ अनयूजुअल सर्कमस्टांसेस, तो उसमें फिर क्या होता है कि पार्टी उस सिचुएशन में नहीं होती है कि टाइमली उसको रिमूव कर सके. इसके लिए परमिशन की रिक्वेस्ट करती है.
He will request, or the party, the customer has got a request power to request anything. The customer can request, I want 10,000 meals, you give me. The power of requesting is there with the customer, but railway officers do not have the power to say you take extra time and unload. They can say,
sir, senior decision
for that purpose punching allowance is given, na?
bunching जब होती है तो bunching allowance is given to consider as per the circulars only.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think senior DCM or any other authority have got power to extend the removal time.
वारफेज टाइम को एक्सटेंड करने के लिए पावर नहीं है. यदि वारफेज इनकर हुआ उसको माफी करने के लिए
वो तो है सर, वो तो जानते हैं, लेकिन ये ऐसा सिचुएशन बनती है सर, कई बार मैंने देखा है.
नो देयर इज नो प्रोविजन इन द लॉ. नो, इवन देयर इज नो प्रोविजन इन द लॉ हु कैन परमिट
सीनियर डिसीजन.
नो, you please share the circular to me on the group or individually, then I will agree.
I don't know circular sir, but practically I have seen so many times.
What happens practically?
There is no such rule. There is no such rule.
There is no such rule, ma. Your senior DCM will be in soup. If your senior DCM gives an order like
वो किसी पार्टी को फेवर देने के लिए कर सकता है, लेकिन ऑन पेपर
no, there is no means of favor. No, actual circumstances derives in such a way that party could not remove the
Tiwari,
timely.
Tiwari, I fully agree to whatever you say, but in government organizations the written word speaks. Where is the circular? Let us not debate on it. If there is a circular, then we will think about it. I'll also search for a circular in the group and post it. Otherwise, Neeraj and Tiwari, we will discuss it in the group and see if we can find a solution. Okay? As far as my knowledge goes, there is no such provision.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts? Shall we close the session or go for another session? Because all my 5 sums are over. Shall we close?
Close it, sir. So please share the sums that you have shown.
Yeah, that I will share. Okay. Shall we close the session?
Yes, sir.
Anybody wants another session or shall we close? Close. Okay, everybody wants to close. We'll bid good night and
Yes, sir.
thanks for joining.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.